So we're finally watching the final part of Brickys' 3-part series of Warhammer. And today, we're going to be learning about every single Warhammer Space Marine Legion in a nutshell. I'm pretty excited to learn about this because I know my chat's been talking a lot about the Space Marines in general. So I'm excited to learn more about it because I am kind of like a little bit, I have like a general idea on what they might be. I'm hoping to get a deeper understanding today. So yeah, I hope you guys will look forward to that. I guess without further ado, shall we start the video? All right, let's start it. I'm playing.
To the people on the internet, the time has
That's me.
come.
I'm on the internet.
Begins. Your boy
The reckoning
got himself a shaker
Holy
cup.
shit! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
After many
Holy crap.
months of shilling
I wasn't
GamerSupps
expecting
like
that.
mad, my favorite thing to do, we have ourselves a goddamn shaker cup. It's here, the official Bricky waifu.
I want to get a
shaker
cup one day.
Do you see
Wait,
the gal on here?
is this
If it's
Bricky
not
as a
great focusing, I'm
waifu?
sure there'll be a thing in the background.
Holy shit.
Put a thing in the background. Long white hair, absolutely. A bit more toned, abs,
Wait.
obviously. Bikini, hit it.
Whoa.
Legally distinct mark on the
I
face.
didn't know
Of
there
course,
was
she
anime
wants you
titties
to
in
do
Warhammer.
the diddle thing, maybe, but most likely to serve in a glorious army. Legally distinct? I think so. The Bricky Shaker Cup is available now, and you should get it while it is
what
hot.
the
But if
hell?
you're thinking, Bricky, what should I put in this? Well, how about my top 10 favorite GamerSupps flavors from number 1 to number 10?
Totally not a
All of them
sister of
incredible,
battle.
but listed
Whoa.
regardless.
Holy
and
shit.
an addendum for those that are caffeine free. This shaker cup is available now in the description of this video. You may use code Bricky as well at checkout to get a discount on your order. A massive amount of profits goes to yours truly, and a huge thank you to GamerSupps
Thank you.
for sponsoring and
that was a
for
fun
getting
ad.
me this beautiful,
Is this
beautiful cup.
canonical
Go
to the
out there and
Warhammer
get it.
universe?
I'm gonna take one more sip for the camera, slow it down, throw some sexy music in there, and I'll see you guys soon.
No, I haven't seen enough Sister of Battle art. I need more. Is this a preview of what I'm getting? What the fuck? Why- He's drinking for such a long time.
Hello everybody, my name is
Stunning.
Bricky, currently
I love that.
stuck in the walls of the most prodigious school in the Imperium by punishment for falling asleep during class. God bless the Skull of Progenium. Many of you have come across my Every Faction Explained video.
Yeah.
Firstly, thank you. Secondly, we are here to dig
No,
a
thank
little
you for making
deeper.
those videos.
Space
They're really fun to
Marines are
watch.
the quintessential poster boys of Warhammer 40,000. When people think 40K, they think Space Marines, but there are many types of Space Marines, formed from 20 separate legions. We are going to rattle them off
20?
in order and give you a quick rundown.
I have to pick my
of
favorite
each
today
one.
after we
A
watch.
disclaimer, like in my Every Faction Explained video, this is a
Wait,
mix
so
of
are
accuracy
legions and factions
memes.
different, right?
If I say the Salamanders Legion
I don't think I have a
specializes in
favorite
hugging children and petting
favorite,
puppies. They are
favorite legion right now. I don't know much yet.
Mostly.
Tur 18 on 20. Oh yeah, there's 18.
But you can infer that they care about civilians and are a bit kinder
My
than
favorite
the
faction
average
is
Space
Sister of
Marine.
Battles.
A Space Marine being a genetically modified super soldier that's had 1,000,000 new and terrifying organs shoved into them.
Also like the orcs a lot.
Refrigerators strapped to their bodies and are so far above the average human that they are
Refrigerators?
referred to as
That's where I live.
demigods instead. Each Space Marine has a father, unlike you, a Primarch.
What the
Which is
fuck?
basically an even bigger Space Marine that was
have a
formed in
dad.
a lab by the God Emperor of Mankind, that gigantic golden dude you see everywhere, who is both the leader
Yeah,
and now
I've
the
actually seen him a
martyr
lot.
of humanity. The Primarchs are his 20 sons, built in a lab, who lead
Oh,
20
whoa.
legions of Space
yeah,
Marines,
yeah.
who are their sons. Not from a lab, but
Damn,
rather a
his
dissection
sperm get
table, giving them
busy.
the powers and skills of their associated
20
Primarch via a
sons?
gene seed, a special organ carrying the
Or 18.
genetic makeup of their Primarch, and, you know, their seed. So if Jagatai Khan
18
of the White
sons.
Scars has the genetic makeup that wants him to go really, really fast, then his sons, the Space Marines, also want to go really, really fast. I should note that I am only referring to the legions this
Speed.
time around. If you're interested in sub-factions like, let's say, the Black Templars, then it's not going to be here. However, I do have
Okay, so
a
these are just
excellent Black
legions.
Templar
Okay,
video.
I think I
I'd argue it's
understand.
probably the most accurate one I can think of. It goes through the whole lore, everything about them. It's a very long video, and I'll put it in the description. Just look up Black Templar video in the description. You'll get what you need. And now, with the easy explanation out of the way, let us begin with our first Legion.
The Dark Angels. That's such a cool ass name.
Dark Angels.
Why is the song
Allegiance,
goofy?
Loyal.
Are they loyal?
Ryan L. Johnson.
No, they're not loyal.
A duelist, a knight, a real asshole, I'm not gonna lie. The single word descriptor, paranoid. The Dark Angels are our first legion, hailing from the death world known as
It's such a cool name. I love that name, Dark Angels.
Ryan L. Johnson is what happens when you try to make the side profile Chad meme into a genuine character. He is a master tier duelist, a brilliant strategist, and an overall dick. There are few situations
He's an asshole.
isn't prepared for, and few fights he isn't ready to lead head on. This makes the Dark Angels have a very Knights of the Round Table vibe. They look like the knights of old with these large suits of power armor, often donning robes and hoods. Their names also follow this. They have like Ezekiel, Azrael, Belial, Samuel, and so on. However, the common thing associated with Dark Angels are the Fallen, a part of their faction that turned traitor against the Imperium, and they are very heavily trying to expunge all knowledge of them from existence. Fallen? What Fallen? Never heard of any Fallen. Do you know about the Fallen? We're gonna take you away
I've never heard of Fallen. What?
To make sure you have never heard
Damn,
of the Fallen.
Fallen's such a cool name for like Dark Angel. Like the Fallen, it just makes no sense.
They love their interrogations. They thrive in it. Lionel Johnson is a scorched earth policy sometimes.
The Dark Angels is just among us.
Force, which makes sense considering that when the Lion heard of a Chaos Primarch on a homeworld different Primarch, whose mom was there, he was like, let's nuke it. The Dark Angels are a special group where they formulate themselves into 3 different factions.
They're kind of gatekeeping a little bit, aren't they?
Phalanx, the Raven Wing, fast jet bikes and flyers, and the Green Wing, which is your standard Marines. They are a jack of all trades, but not in the sense where they're good at everything, but rather they have a lot of things that are good at specific things. Like instead of 20 people that have a multi-tool, they instead have 20 people with gigantic power tools for every job imaginable. If you like being suspicious about everyone and everything in your surroundings, but you also like to have a whole lot of deep knight type lore, run the Dark Angels.
The One Piece! The One Piece!
I never learned about the second legion.
Our second legion is a special one.
What does this mean? I'm getting scared. They're gatekeeping from themselves, the Dark Angels.
The numbers all go to 11.
The Emperor's
third
children.
legion. All right.
Allegiance,
That was fun.
traitor. Primarch, Fulgrim, a perfectionist, an artist, a sneaky snake. And the single word descriptor, perfection. The Emperor's children are all about the pursuit of perfection. Perfection in all they do. Perfection in war, in artistry,
Well, now
and
I'm
perfection
curious
in
about the
every
second
other
one.
aspect of life. Their armor is a
Just kidding, there's no
gleaming
second one.
pink, purple, and gold. Their
I like the
ships
colors
have
on them a
spires
lot.
of gorgeous
It's
marble
pretty.
and gold statues in their honor. Fulgrim is a man who believes the pursuit of perfection is the goal of all things, and I mean, look at him. Can you truly tell me that he
they
is
look
not
pretty
perfect? The
real.
hair, the features.
Yeah,
As Primarchs
yeah, it
go,
looks
he
really
is
cool.
the one you look at, and if 40K had a guy that would give you the best sex you've ever had and never call you back,
Whoa!
this is the fucking guy. Which is why this pursuit of decadence led them to the evils of chaos. Yes,
I'm happy to know about
Emperor's
that
children
description.
are our first
It was very
Chaos
important.
Legion, and not just a normal one devoted to, you guessed it, Slanesh, the prince of pleasure, god of unspeakable excess. The Emperor's children in their pursuit
I
are now
love Slanesh,
horrifyingly
but I also
mutated
hate them.
beings through Slanesh's great will. They torture
Slanesh is
and
so
maim
evil,
to feel perfection
but
through
so
pain.
cool.
They screech and attack with sonic weaponry for perfection through sound, and they slaughter aiming for perfection in
Damn.
war. Fulgrim himself lost the battle against Slanesh
Dude,
as a
this guy
demon
looks so
sword corrupted
badass.
his mind and
That's such a cool
transformed him
figure.
into the sexy man he was, into the sexy snake he is now.
He's
a
now
demon
oh shoot!
Primarch,
Holy
corrupted
crap,
and
he
bringing
evolves
his legions
like
will
Pokemon.
by himself. As far as Emperor's children go, they are some bad people. They do horrible
Damn.
things to anyone and
Yeah,
everything.
I feel
In
like
fact,
anything
they're such
involved with
trolls
Slanesh are
that
just
their
like the
battle
worst
cry
people
is
to
for
ever
the
exist.
Emperor, despite being horribly mutated and corrupted. If you've ever taken a little too much of a drug, or maybe the music at a concert was too loud and you didn't bring any earplugs, or whatever the reason, you just take all those things and you dial it and you dial it and you twist it and the knob breaks. And that is the Emperor's children.
Stunning. Alright, that was cool. Now we're going on to the fourth legion now, the Iron Warriors. Oh,
The
that's a pretty
Iron
cool name too.
Warriors. Allegiance, traitor. Primarch, Perturabo, a warlord, a siege smith, an incel. Single word descriptor, siege. Continuing the trend of our Chaos Legions, we have the Iron Warriors led by Primarch Perturabo of Olympia. To understand the Iron Warriors though, one must first understand Perturabo. A man so bitter, coffee beans run for light. A man who hates the world and everyone in it, who never got recognition for his deeds, who hates his brothers and hates their accomplishments even
Holy
more.
shit, this guy might be the ultimate hater.
Petty, so incredibly
He's
bitter,
the ultimate
and he goes
hater.
full circle to becoming likable. Why? Because he's competent. The Horus Heresy.
Oh.
We didn't talk about the Horus Heresy. Intermission. So Horus was the Emperor's favorite son, right? You know, so the Emperor walked into his room. Horus said, Dad, I just gifted 150 subs to Amaranth, and she said my name a ton, and she loved me for it. I really think that I might get to meet her one day. And it kind of played out something like this.
I hope this is canonical to the lore.
Are not real. They are real to me.
And then it started playing out a little bit more like this.
Let the seas boil. Let the stars.
This is so fucking funny. This is so good.
Drop all my blood.
Wait, that's such a cool ass cutscene.
So Iron Warriors, the Horus Heresy wouldn't have gotten shit done without Peter Turbo. Imagine an entire faction that is the personification of brutal industrialism, where you serve the Legion until your dying breath. You build and you kill and you siege and you kill and you literally summon demons just to take them and trap them in machines and use them as cannon fodder. This is a thing they do. They summon demons to trap and use as shock troops. The Iron Warriors
pretty
are
fucking
siege
epic.
warfare incarnate. They are heavy weapons. They are tanks. They are turrets,
that's pretty
and
epic.
they don't die. They hate Imperials. They hate Imperial Fists.
Do you need a pacifier, Iron Baby? No. No, I don't.
They are bitter incarnate. Perturabo and the Iron Warriors don't serve the Chaos Gods because they like them. They serve them because fuck you.
Come on, guys. Let's go.
Not another speeding ticket. I'll fight it in court, but I don't think they're going to
White
accept gotta go
Scars, the
fast
Fifth
as a medical
Legion.
condition.
The White Scars. Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch,
I love Sonic Boom.
Jagatai Khan. A speed demon, a plane strider, a roast
speed
god.
demon.
Single word descriptor, speed. Hailing from Chagoris. The White Scars are all about
it looks like they're on like
speed. They
super cool
love melee,
motorcycles.
but they love it even more
Like mecha
when they are
motorcycles.
doing it
Looks
from a
really cool.
motorcycle or land speeder.
Yeah.
Or honestly, just running really damn fast. The White Scars are honestly forgotten about a lot, and that's lore accurate.
Really?
They are a
Damn.
legion that doesn't seek the recognition or glory from the combat they engage in. They engage in it because it is their duty and because they love it. Not in the insane slaughter enjoyment of loving it, but in the thrill of the fight. They are known as
It's for the fun of the game,
because they
not the
ride
glory.
into battle with a smile on their face and a chuckle in their throat. And as you can tell by their Primarch's name, they are Mongolian
these artworks look really cool.
horses and replace them with motorcycles and land spears, and that's your style. They're heavily based on the old times of Genghis Khan, and consider this is 40k and everybody's evil. You know, that fits. The White Scars are actually physical scars on their body, going back to their heritage on Chagoris. The Khan himself is kind of a dickhead, but a reasonable one. He thinks ahead, he's intelligent, he's patient. He is often underestimated because he doesn't scream his accomplishments from the rooftops, which is what makes him and the White Scars dangerous. His skills are kept at bay, only to be truly shown when the time is needed. The White Scars are a forgotten legion often, but that doesn't diminish their accomplishments. All it does is surprise those who underestimate them. Speed, awesome Mongolian vibe they got going on. And if you really like to stab people, that's the White Scars for you. Shameless thirst break.
Whoa! Alright, that's what I learned about. Space wolves!
The Space Wolves. Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch, Lehman Russ. A Viking, savage,
Sorry, I was thinking like
Undertaker.
straight up
Single
like
word descriptor. Wolf.
Yeah, I was thinking like half furry, but
how many
but
units
I
in the
might have
Space
been
Wolf
wrong.
Codex have the word
oh wait,
wolf
I'm
in
not
their
wrong.
name? The Space Wolves are the 6th Legion and hail from Fenris, a frozen wasteland of a world with their Primarch, Leman Russ. I don't really need to spend a whole lot of time talking about the Space Wolves because it's very obvious who they are. They are the second most obvious what their shtick is Legion in the 20 legions, besides the World Eaters.
Well, they're like cool furries though, you know?
Behind, but what do you see? Do you see Vikings in space? You've done it.
Choking like Oliver. Oh.
You have found Vikings in space. But they have as much in common with a regular Marine as an old-day Viking with like a Roman soldier. You see, as a Space Marine, your body is so enhanced that you filter out poison, and so you can't get drunk. The Space Wolves distill a special mead out of a horrible poisonous plant that would kill a normal human so they could get drunk. They have fangs in their mouths. They sometimes cannibalize their enemies. Sometimes they eat people because they gain knowledge about them from there and about battle plans. The Space Wolves are savages. They're raiders. They're Vikings.
Yeah, that's pretty savage. Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Their core. Leman Russ is an egotistical guy who just shouts stories and tales of his accomplishments everywhere they can. But at the same time, he was so damn good that instead of gunning down his foes, he hit him with a fucking backbreaker to show his devotion to wrestling. If you want Vikings in space, you found it. Play the Vikings in space.
We're gonna build the wall. We have no choice. We have no choice. Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall.
The Imperial
Space Marines do it, but the Space Wolves do it on camera.
Primarch Rogel Dorn, a builder, a phalanx, and he needs a hand. Single word descriptor: fortify. The Imperial Fists are led by Primarch Rogel Dorn, their homeworld of Inuit. However, they themselves are actually a fleet-based chapter, with their main source of recruitment coming from an enormous moon-sized ship called the Phalanx. The Fists are a chapter you think of when you think of duty. They love to serve. The love to serve and the inability to be
this is Mio's favorite
Rogel
Legion.
Dorn is an architect, a master builder, and basically a rock in brain and body. A lack of humor or ability to lie shows that he is as blunt as the weapons of war he creates. Not the swords he makes, but like blunt, strong weapons. The Fists are the same. Take your archetypical American Marine style look, a buzz cut, a hard sense of duty, and then throw in some power armor and a love for building defenses, and you have the Imperial Fists. They are immovable. When you find a spot, they're ready to defend. You can't breach them. Their knowledge of defensive warfare
they never
is
leave?
paramount. Without them, the Horus Heresy would have been so much more effective, but thanks to their insane and immovable tenacity, the Imperium lives today. And let's not forget that Iron Warrior and Imperial Fist rivalry. Want to know why the Iron Warriors are so bitter? These guys are the reason why.
Hey, guys! Bring the thing! Where does he go?
Holy shit.
Hey! Hey, that could have killed me! Hey, guys! You missed! Get another!
Dorn and Perturabo are basically two sides of the same coin. One is just a bit more level-headed and got better jobs. If you want to be defensive, to be good at everything Space Marines are good at, bolters, heavy weapons, vehicles, you want a classic military fighting force, start fisting.
I am having a very bad day.
Damn, that was cool. Yeah, the Imperial Fist is like a living wall for the Empire.
Oh boy.
Expert of siege defense.
Night Lords. Allegiance, heretic. Primarch,
that's really cool.
Conrad Kurz, a sadist, a vigilante, depresso espresso. Single word, fear. The Night Lords are my favorite legion, hailing from Nostromo and their Primarch, Conrad Kurz. They are a traitor legion from a planet known as the Sunless World, or the World of Endless Night. Nostromo is a horrible hive state
cool
that is known for being host to some of the worst gang violence, murder, and working conditions around. The only thing keeping the population in check is the suicide rate. The Night Lords followed in the footsteps of their Primarch, a man who believed in a twisted sense of justice and that the only way to make humans compliant is through fear. The Legion's lesson has been lost on them, as their ranks were repopulated by gang members, murderers, arsonists, torturers, and other words I can't say on YouTube, as young as 12 years old. Murderers before they were even teenagers, raised to become demigods. Now, fear is what they sow, and flesh is what they reap. The Night Lords are scum. They are the exact opposite of all other legions. They torture and they maim and they flay because they think it's fun. They run away often so they can come back and kill you with more numbers. They prey on the innocent and the weak. They kill normal civilians because it's easy and flee any battle where they don't possess
I thought it was kind of funny. Like they would leave battle just to bring more friends in, like
they
like
are
ants, kind of.
Scum.
But cooler.
One time, a world did not comply to their demands, so they raided one of their ships and brought it into atmosphere. The crowds cheered and clapped as it appears that they had won the battle.
Oh no.
And the airlocks opened and the skinned and flayed bodies of the crew were thrown down in the populace. In other words,
it's raining men.
A legion
Hallelujah.
of gangers and criminals. Add together a heavy
Gamers
Slavic
and criminals.
influence to them, and you've got my favorite faction.
You have not done the dishes for 5
Blood
years. So
Angels. That's a cool name. I kind of like the Night Lords. They're brutal, but I don't know. They make me laugh a bit for some reason. I don't know why.
Primarch Sanguinius, an angel, a vampire, a dead-ass motherfucker. Single word descriptor: blood. The Blood Angels are Ninth Legion, hailing from the homeworld of Baal, with their Primarch Sanguinius. The Blood Angels are a tragic tale with one of the best Primarchs, one beloved by almost everybody, a genuine angelic figure
this guy looks
who
like
led
a
his
Chad.
people to glory, killed by the hands of the traitor Horus before the Emperor's eyes. The death of their Primarch led the entire Legion to madness as their gene seed malfunctioned and created something known as the Black Rage. The Blood Angels degrade over time, experiencing something called the Red Thirst,
that sucks.
which gives them a genuine vampiric thirst for blood. As their minds degrade and break down, they get
vampires,
angrier and angrier, becoming berserk killing machines with no other goal than to tear everything in sight apart. But they don't see it as that. They see themselves there, at their Primarch's demise, with Horus in sight. And to them, it's time for vengeance. That Space Marine over there,
that's
that
everything
Chaos
I live
Space
for.
Marine,
Revenge.
that's Horus. Kill him. That Orc War Boss over there, Horus. Kill him. That Tyranid Swarm, 1,000
I like the way they
Horuses.
think.
Horai. Kill them all. Did your toast come out a little bit burnt? Horus sabotaged your toaster.
Holy
Destroy the
shit.
toaster. Destroy it. Do it. Do it. Kill your toaster. Do it. This slow, debilitating disease takes over the Blood Angels, and it gives them this angelic, vampire, and Catholic-inspired imagery. They have chalices of
that's
blood.
pretty cool.
They rest in
I feel like I can
coffins
really
and
relate to
even
this, you
use
know?
psychic powers to sprout angel wings from their bodies. They are a tragedy through and through, and the only thing that will look more
Like,
tragic
if someone took
are the
away
mangled
my most
bodies of
important
those
person
they
to
come
me,
in
I would burn the
contact
world
with.
too.
I got a diesel engine.
Iron Hands, the 10th Legion.
The Iron Hands.
I like that song.
Allegiance, loyalist. Primarch, Ferris
That random
Manus,
guy,
a
Horus.
machinist, an inventor, and not a great head on his shoulders. Single word, Bionics. The Iron Hands are from the home planet of Medusa and their Primarch, Ferris Manus. Does Ferris Manus have an iron hand? You fucking know he's got an iron hand. The Iron Hands believe that the flesh is weakness. But despite all of their enhancements, despite all the things that made them demigods, replacing some of the flesh with bionics will allow them to serve the Emperor more. They go hard into vehicles and dreadnoughts. Dreadnoughts being giant walking sarcophagi that have wounded Space Marines piloting them from the inside. Vehicles, metal upgrades. These are the things that make up this legion. Their tech marines have servo arms sticking out from all directions. They have a wide array of mechanics
that's
and
really
extremely
cool.
often replace limbs with metal ones, serving all kinds of different functions to deal with their enemies. The Iron Hands are also not particularly nice. They're kind of assholes. I mean, Marines are already normally pretty big assholes, but they're a little bit up there because of their flesh, civilians made of flesh, because you see, the flesh is weak. Flesh is corruptible. Bionics, the strength of the machine is pure and cannot so easily be corrupted.
That's true.
So if you want people who have this little techno fetishistic vibe to them, that love their vehicles and their walking coffins, hit up the Iron Hands.
Understand, Commander?
11
was never
Legion,
here.
the
Legion
legendary
11.
11th. Stop
Why, hello there. I have returned from,
All right.
touching grass.
On to 12.
I'm pretty cool with the grass touching.
Whoa. He's wearing a different shirt.
Our Warhammer lecture.
This ruffles my jammies.
World Eaters. That's a cool
so
name.
what's going on here? I am a super sandwich.
The
World Eaters.
Allegiance, Heretic. Primarch, Angron. A butcher, a slaughterer.
Like extremely, earth-shatteringly, unreasonably fuck-ass mad.
Single word descriptor, anger. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Are you mad? Do you just fucking hate everything? Do you want to murder everything in sight and get rewarded for doing so? Then you should join the World Eaters. Home planet of Nuceria and Primarch.
Oh, are they
Angron,
just hungry?
who, if the
Is that why
name
they're
didn't
mad?
Suggest, is real fucking angry. Angron was raised a slave, forced to fight in
Angron.
gladiator pits. When he refused, they shoved old world tech into his brain so that if he ever felt any emotion other than anger, it caused him extreme pain.
Damn,
All his
that's not
sons,
even
wanting to be
Angron's
like
fault.
their dad, also put a version of these
Or
nails
Angron,
in their
sorry.
brain. So now you have an entire legion who literally feel unimaginable pain if they are feeling any emotion other than anger. Slap them
Damn.
with a freight train of armor, two
That's sad.
goddamn
It's not even like their fault.
chainsaw
They have to be
axes, and you
angry.
can see what's gonna happen. It's no wonder they're corrupted by corn. They're honestly a surprisingly sad legion that I actually screwed
this
up
is a
in
little
assuming they were all
sad.
just angry murderers. I mean, they are. But they didn't start out that way. Their corn
Yeah,
corruption
they
degraded
have a
their
reason why they're like
intelligence, their
this.
free will, and made powerful warriors into arguably even more powerful warriors, but blunt, like frothing at the mouth psycho warriors. The World Eaters, like I mentioned in the Space
Damn,
Wolves,
they're
they wear their
feral.
concept on their sleeve.
But not
they
by
are
choice.
angry, they want to kill things, they want to kill you, and maybe some of their friends, and that's the faction. They're red, they're mad, they're gonna run at you and cause death. If you like that, you play the World Eaters. Or you like because they were, you know, at one point a lot better than that. Most of Warhammer was a lot better than that. I was once a lot better than that. That was when I was in college. I didn't finish college, and neither did Angron.
The Ultramarines.
I'll cut your balls off.
The Ultramarines. Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch, Rabute Gilliman. That's how it's said. An analyst, a diplomat, a blueberry boy scout. Single word descriptor, duty. When you see Space Marines on a box or just Space Marines in promotional material, notice how they are always colored blue. These are the blue Space Marines. These ones here, the Ultramarines, who hail from the world of Macrog with their Primarch, Rabute Gorilla Man. Ultramarines are the white bread of Space Marines, the grilled chicken with salt and pepper. This is by no means an insult. They are plain Jane, but that's also because they are so goddamn good at their job. Their skill for warfare is paramount, but so is their ability.
I think this is
for
pretty
leadership.
refreshing
Gilliman
from all
was
the
a damn boring
evil and
Primarch for all
blood.
the reasons he was great, because no matter how hard you try, you don't win a war without logistics, without supply lines, without trade routes, without infrastructure and economy. You don't win anything without all that stuff, and Gilliman knows it, which is why he has one of the
kinda
largest
old-fashioned.
standing empires in the Imperium, named Ultramar, which is why his sons are the most recognizable of all the Space Marines, which is why the only thing that rivals the weight of their victories is the weight of their egos. They are good at everything and bad at nothing. They are great at everything. Other legions can do other things better than them, but they are good
Their
at
aura
everything.
is so
The most interesting
strong.
thing about the Ultramarines is their characters, as they are all now inflicted with various amounts
I
of
think they look
ultra
really cool.
depression for many reasons. Gilliman is, at the time of recording, the only playable Primarch currently on the tabletop, and the only one that has returned to the 41st millennium for the Loyalist side. He took one look at what his empires become and immediately wanted to fucking die. Being forced to lead everything he once hated, an Imperium rotten to its core with his sole responsibility to save it, is kind of what makes him interesting. They're a perfectly standard legion with perfectly standard ideals, and great if you want a simple, clean slate.
Uh-oh, stinky.
Death Guard, the 14th Legion.
Poop funny. Woo.
The Death Guard. Allegiance, Heretic. Primarch, Mortarian. A Reaper, a Poison, an ungodly stench. Single word descriptor, Rot. The Death Guard hail from
Rot?
Barbaros.
This might be my
Primarch
legion.
Mortarion. The 14th Legion were
That's
known
my
for
legion.
their
What the hell? Why are you
incredible
guys comparing me to
resilience
this?
to damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Where the Imperial Fists were defensive thanks to tactics and posturing, the Death Guard were resilient because they could take a punch or a gut shot or a cannon to the chest
Holy
and just
shit.
keep on moving. They are slow, yet they are resistant, which was only confounded as a Death Guard captain, Typhus, codename Dickhead, sold them out to Nurgle, god of rot and decay. Now, the Death Guard are a Nurgle-worshipping infected legion whose ability to feel pain and take damage has all but just gone away. They wade through gunfire, able to kill normal Marines 10 times over and continue unharmed, all while spreading rot and disease in the name of their dark, very stinky master. Where the Death Guard enter, plague spreads. People get sick and they die. They spread debilitating disease to all
This
around
is like when the
them. Why would a
cockroaches would
legion
fly in my
need to
room
be
and
anything
die
more
purely
than
for my
very
aura?
tanky when their enemies are falling over, puking, firing out of both ends, and having their skin peel off just by their presence? Entire worlds infested with a zombie rot, swarms of insects that eat flesh and metal alike, all while the Legion advances slowly, painfully, allowing the disease they spread to take its toll before they reap the lives they believe belong to them. And look at Mortarion's model,
Son
dude.
of
The man is
Asmon.
baller as fuck. A gigantic moth with a gigantic scythe. Come on now. The Death Guard.
For my next trick!
Thousand Suns. The 15th Legion. I like the Dark
The
Guard.
Thousand Sons. Allegiance, Heretic. Primarch, Magnus the Red. A scholar, a sorcerer,
Yo.
a fucking
Are there
nerd.
horns
Single word
for their-
descriptor? Magic.
Oops.
The Thousand Sons hail from their
I
home
love
world
magic.
of Prospero with their Primarch Magnus the Red. The final of our 4
Wizards!
major Chaos God factions.
Wait, I'm excited.
The Thousand Sons are disciples of Tzeentch, the Changer of Ways. Heavily inspired by their Egyptian theming, the Legion themselves are slaves to the god of trickery and change. Most of them no longer even having a physical form, reduced to just dust, piloting
That's
suits
pretty,
of armor
I
at
guess.
the whim of a sorcerer leader. The Thousand Sons do not deserve their fate. There's a common joke that Magnus did nothing wrong. This is untrue. He has done much wrong. However, he is very sympathetic, mainly because the Space Wolves and Leman Russ sought to end their rivalry through the annihilation of their legion, escaping only through the assistance of the Changer of Ways, and forever changed because of it. Meanwhile, magic is their main tool. Take some Lovecraftian style abilities, the eyes everywhere, and potent spells to be cast at their foes, whether these are bolts of psychic lightning, reversing time itself, opening up portals to unreality, or changing the very fabric of the universe.
Fun.
The Thousand Sons sorcery knows no bounds, and they are very good at it. If you're a fan of like wizards, your classic style of spellcaster, and you want a ton of them, combined with a tragic backstory and a Primarch who, like Mortarion, looks fucking baller, the Thousand Sons are for you.
I really like the Thousand
There's no
Sons.
way. You're a fucking cheater.
I love magic.
Sore loser.
You're a cheater. My dad works at
They look cool, but they're a
The
bitch to paint.
Sons of Horus, or the Luna Wolves, or the Black Legion. Allegiance, Heretic. Primarch, Horus, a warlord, a treasured friend, or the traitor himself. Single word descriptor, assault. The Sons of Horus are the formal name of Horus's legion, hailing from the world of Chthoniya. The Sons of Horus themselves were assault troops. The strength of their attack was some of the most powerful in the legions. While the White Scars may favor
Horus,
speed for
nah,
their strikes, the
hunt 'em.
Sons of Horus were known for their overall
The poor
offensive
blood angels.
power. It was even said that if the Sons of Horus met the Imperial Fists, they would be at a stalemate for eternity.
This guy's a
However,
Nephilim.
the Sons of Horus are no longer because, well, they are now instead the Black Legion, led by Abaddon the Despoiler, who claims to succeed where his father failed. The Black Legion are still an offensive and assault-based force, but they act much like the Ultramarines, but for chaos. Your standard black and brass Space Marine, who are known for recruiting in
cool,
all
dude.
different kinds of avenues. Anyone
feel like-
can become a member of the Black Legion. Anyone can swear allegiance
I feel
to
like
the War
armor in the
Master.
color
You
of
gain
black
favor
looks
by not
really
just
cool,
one,
chat.
but
Like, it's really
all
bad.
4 gods equally. Their
Like
famous
badass,
line,
you know.
"Let the galaxy burn," is the best way to describe
that's
them.
pretty
It doesn't
cool.
matter what the outcome
cool line.
is. So long as the Imperium dies, the Black Legion has done its job. They are a legion formed from hatred and spite, with a clear goal in mind, as the Dark Gods are calling and the Black Legion are sure to answer.
Hello. Do you have a moment to talk about our
The
Lord and Savior,
World
Jesus
Bearers.
No.
Wait, Word Bearers, not World. 17th Legion.
The Word Bearers. Allegiance, heretic. Primarch, Lorgar Aurelian, a preacher, a fanatic, a choir boy. Single word descriptor, zeal. If the Black Legion answer the call of the Dark Gods, what if instead you decide to call the gods first? Well, then the Word Bearers are for you. The 17th Legion, led by Primarch Lorgar on the planet of Colchis.
It's still there.
Originally obsessed with worshiping the Emperor of Mankind as a god, they found that despite his divinity, he was not worthy of worship because,
Damn.
you know, he razed their equivalent of Jerusalem to the ground for daring to worship him.
Fair
Like,
enough.
could you imagine if God actually showed up and was just like, Jerusalem is stupid, it just destroyed the whole thing? Like, what would that do to your head? But there are gods that want worship and will reward those who do. The Word Bearers are chaos worshippers to a T. All chaos gods. They specialize in demonic rituals, the summoning of demons, and the mutual possession of their own troops. They welcome demons to their bodies to fight as one. They exalt the dark gods themselves
like
for aid. And
they're
guess
evil,
what? They
but
answer.
everyone
In the
is
world
evil.
of 40K, Satan doesn't just call you
So,
back.
like, it
He
makes
hops
sense.
his GT Mustang and he crashes on your couch. In the world of 40K,
Yeah,
your
I
rituals
think they're
will
in the
end
right.
with genuine
agree with their
results.
choices.
The Word Bearers know this. They know through sacrifices, through devotion, through dark baptism, the gods will answer and they will be rewarded. So they use it. They bring forth demons. They bring forth possessions.
Yeah.
They bring forth the power of the neverborn, the damned, and those that hide in the dark to bear against the Imperium. Lorgar sits there, smiling, as the truth he always knew, the existence of gods and the
Ouija board on
importance of
drugs.
faith is a reality. It is a tool he is using to rend the galaxy.
Dear Sir Stroke Madam.
The
Fire!
Salamanders.
Exclamation mark.
18th Legion.
Fire! Exclamation mark. Help me!
The Salamanders. Allegiance, loyalist. Primarch, Vulcan, a forge master, a behemoth, a very huggy boy. Single word descriptor, fire. The Salamanders hail from Nocturne, a volcanic planet home to their Primarch Vulcan. They are the largest of the Space Marines, not due to numbers, but rather size. Vulcan is
Huge.
He is an enormous slab of beef, by far the largest of all the Primarchs. However, don't let his size fool you, as he is also the kindest. Salamanders have the juxtaposition of looking frightening, being larger than other Marines, while also boasting an ashy, like,
Wait, that's actually
coal
really
color
sweet
skin
that
and
they're nice.
blazing red eyes.
Something
while
that's rare in
simultaneously
Warhammer, I feel
carrying
like.
around all manner of flame weaponry. So your average civilian might be spooked, but in reality, they are by far the kindest of
They
all
like
the
cats.
legions to those civilians. Vulcan believes that to safeguard the Imperium is to, at the end of the day, safeguard its people. So unlike other legions who put their lives far and above the average human, the Salamanders spend significantly more time trying to save them,
heck?
often taking numerous
Wait, that's
losses
so
by doing so.
novel.
They are very independent as well. They're forgers and blacksmiths, maintaining their own weapons and crafting versions of it. They also have the very rare privilege of
Wow,
being able
that's
to see
actually
their
really
families
nice.
even after becoming
For
a
Space
Space Marine.
Marines.
They care, which is the funny part, because the
Set their
7.5
enemies
foot
on
tall
fire.
giant with flaming red eyes who just reduced a traitor to bubbling
like
metal
that.
says, "You have nothing to fear, young citizen. Take my hand." If you enjoy fire, melting things, and being the
I do
nicer
love
of
fire.
the Marines, Salamanders are for you.
Salamanders are really nice. I like that. The Raven Guard.
Saga, sneak attacks don't work if you yell it out loud.
The Raven Guard. Allegiance, loyalist. Primarch, Corvus Corax. A raven, a shadow, an industrial dance DJ. Single word descriptor, Stealth. The Raven Guard are the final loyalist legion at 19 and hail from the planet Deliverance with Primarch Corvus.
Damn, their armor looks so cool. I love like black armor. It's really cool.
And proficient in all manners of assassination. Despite this, their signature winged jump pack and double lightning claw look is, well, not very stealthy. They are named after, of course, the Raven and embody the entire concept of it as a herald of death. They are stealthy, patient hunters that have no problem with waiting and waiting and waiting until the moment to strike is at hand.
Damn.
It's not easy.
I can't be part of this legion. I'm too impatient.
Stealth involves people in 1 ton of power armor, but they find a way. That, more than anything, should not be used to show how ridiculous 40k is, even though it is, but rather to show how good the Raven Guard are at their jobs. It's not about them sneaking around you without being seen, but it's also about them having lied in wait for so long that it wasn't until they were in striking distance that you even realized they had been there. And also, if you want, you know, edgelord Marines with a long black haircut, pale skin, ravens everywhere, if you want to field assassins and snipers abound, then the Raven Guard are for you.
He could be in this very room. He could
I was gonna say they're kind of emo.
It could be me. He could even be... Whoa, whoa, whoa! What? It was obvious.
The Alpha Legion, the final one.
Allegiance, Heretic. Primarch, Alfarius, and Omegon. Saboteurs, destabilizers, they're in your walls. Single word descriptor, espionage. Finally, the 20th Legion, the Alpha Legion, led by Alfarius and Omegon. The only legion with 2 Primarchs who were split as twins. The Alpha Legion are heretical.
That's pretty cool.
And specialize in destabilization of society and armies. Their entire shtick is the Hydra, because when you cut off one head, 2 more take its place. All of the Alpha Legion look exactly like their Primarch. Olive skin, shaved head. All claim to be Alfarius. All are liars. They make the largest use of sleeper cells and cultists in the Chaos Space Marine factions because it's extremely easy to take over a planet when you
poisoned our water supply, burned our crops, and delivered a plague unto our houses.
Where the Raven Guard use stealth and sabotage to eliminate their enemies, the Alpha Legion prefer to weaken them over time with sleeper agents, impersonations, basically anything you could imagine from a hardcore spy movie or Cold War level espionage. Being Alfarius is not only an honor, being Alfarius is a requirement. There's a story of someone chasing down an Alpha Legion agent for years upon years, and when they finally catch up with them and they see that the agent is wearing the same face as their pursuer, because this was the plan all along, to kill him and take his spot. We're talking facial reconstruction surgery, we're talking hacking, we're talking political assassination and impersonation, everything. They are Space Marines in name only, because being a strong stoic warrior is not what the Alpha Legion is interested in. In fact, the Alpha Legion is interested in you not even knowing that the Alpha Legion is a thing. I am Alfarius. You are Alfarius. We are all Alfarius in his Lord's glorious army. Thank you everyone so much for watching this video. I hope you learned a little something. I hope if you were on the fence about what Space Marines you wanted to field, you would now have a better idea of what you want to play. Buy my gamer sub shaker.
That was really fun.
It's on sale.
Did an hour pass already again?
It's ready to go. Just get
that was fun. I really enjoyed this video.
In the description. Just get it. And a huge thank you to all of my patrons over on patreon.com/Bricky and the members on the YouTube channel. Your names are here. I thank you a ton.
Whoa.
You're all very
generous.
Me
busy and going really fast.
I need to answer a question. Have you ever attempted to touch grass but end up touching the Destiny 2 loading screen?
Wow, that's actually really fun. I feel like the Space Marine has been my favorite video so far, actually. I really like how... Okay, well, it's hard to say because Sisters of Battles wasn't in this one. But I know they're a faction.
Obviously, you're a skater.
Alright, thank you guys so much for watching that video with me, guys. Thank you. I hope you guys had fun with that. That was really fun. I actually really like learning about the what is it? The legions. It was actually really clear and concise. There was only 18 of them, but I like how they were. I feel like I comprehended this video, I think, the easiest out of the others, but that might also be because I have an understanding what Warhammer is now. So I actually like how clear that felt to my head. But yeah, that was really fun.